Hello, my name's Graham Hotchkiss. I'd like to introduce you to Tecco paper, but just to enlighten you a little bit, Tecco paper are the biggest supplier of proofing paper in the world. I'd like to introduce you now to some of our fine art papers that are available in the Tecco range. The first one we're going to be looking at is the bright white rag. As you'll see from the image here, that the texture of this paper is not quite apparent first showing. It's a very, very slight texture on this paper, and it is beautifully and soft. But it gives you wonderful saturation in all of these colours that you can see here. But if you need to put a monochrome image onto this particular paper, as you can see, we still have a limited amount of white within the picture space, but we have no burnout at all. It has handled all this white wall extremely well. We move on now to the gloss paper. This one gives you a much softer sense of the gloss paper itself. Look at the lovely detail shown in his face, his whiskers, they're absolutely pin sharp. And I think the detail that we have coming out of this person's face, because as I said before, it is a rag-based paper, the depth seems to go on forever within the face of the person. The other paper in the fine art range, particularly if you're looking for a surface that has more slight texture to it, the Aquarelle Matte will give you this. As you can see from the image, once again, the paper is beautiful and sharp, and all the detail in the hills in the background here, and onto this right-hand side where we have the rock formation, some wonderful, wonderful textures going through there too. And we've retained all the detail in the highlights inside this little boat here. It's a wonderful paper. If you do need that little bit of extra quality, if you like, on a textured surface, I can certainly recommend this one for you. If you consider using monochrome on the same paper, this is an example here of a country scene on a misty morning. And what happened again with the mist has been held and captured absolutely beautiful on this paper here. The paper I've used in this image here, this industrial picture, is the Barrett paper, one of the fibre-based papers within the range. You can look deeper into the colour and you can look deeper into your image totally. Once again, if you look at all the detail on the underside of the warehouse here, that is detailed all the way through. We go into the sky, the structure of the sky, and there's a wonderful depth within the picture itself. Barrett paper is also absolutely tremendous for using it on your monochrome portraits, but it can be also used not just as a portrait, as I've shown you here now, this wonderful old gentleman on chroma pear. You've got some, look at the detail in his jumper here, for example, even though it's really in the deep blacks, there is some detail within this area for yourself. And we look at the man's hair and textures, and those eyes are so piercing.